Speaking of heroes, I want to tell you guys about a woman named Aggie. Aggie grew up just a few hours outside of Kampala, and when Aggie was 13 years old, a village elder approached her father and offered him 20 cows in exchange for her hand in marriage. That was a really good bride price, so everybody in the entire village was shocked when Aggie's dad said, no, I want to keep her in school. And Aggie went on to finish high school, and then she became the first woman in her entire community to finish college. When she graduated from university, she came out into the workplace and she was, looking for a job. And for 4 grueling months, every single job interview that she had, she was either outright rejected or the male hiring manager said, yeah, I'll give you the job if you sleep with me. Now, let me be very clear. This is not exclusively an Africa problem. Okay, this happens in Kampala, and it happens in Hollywood, and it happens in churches and organizations and communities all across our country as well. Aggie, when I met her, she was understandably discouraged. I was a year or 2 into running Seiko, and she was like, do you have a job for me? And I was like, you seem awesome, but I'm so sorry, I don't. I am literally barely making ends meet, paying the employees that I have. I don't have a job. And she looked at me and she said, listen, let me work for you as an intern for 1 month, and I promise that I will provide value to this company. Well, that's the type of pluck that I cannot refuse. 7 years later, that plucky young woman is the managing director of our entire company in Uganda. She co-chairs the board with me. She's traveled all over Africa negotiating supplies and terms with our raw materials providers. She's stood on stages inspiring entrepreneurs and women and students to build lives and businesses that matter. But back home, Aggie's village is changing. According to Aggie, about 10 years ago, the average girl in her village was married by the age of 13, sometimes as early as 8 or 9 years old. Today, less than 10 years later, the average girl in her village is in school where she belongs. And it's because of Aggie. It's because of her and her dad's story that they have seen what happens when a girl has a chance to learn and to lead. Aggie, in her courage and her boldness and her pluck, has created an eternal wake of dignity and possibility and freedom for young girls in Uganda who I will never meet, and who, frankly, I am not equipped to inspire and influence in the way that Aggie can, because Aggie has a unique set of gifts and a voice and a level of influence that I simply don't. You want to talk about pluck. What would you guys do if I told you that all the way from Uganda, Aggie's with us here at the summit? Can we give her a warm summit welcome? Look at this. Wow.
Thank you.
You guys, thank you. Truly transformational leadership. It's not about being a hero who's primarily concerned with rising to success or notoriety, but it's about linking arms with others to create a rising tide that lifts all ships.
We started this journey as 2 beginners, believing that we each have a role to play in a world that is so much bigger than ourselves.
Would we do the hard work of constantly diving out of comfort with a sense of curiosity and through trial and error, we will become more of who we were created to be.
And that will light a path for others to do the same and to become the hero of their own story and to create unimaginable impact that they are uniquely suited to create.
Only together can we create lasting change that will make the world a little brighter and more beautiful and more equitable than it was before.